shakalaka!
Get up, it's time to slam now. We got the real jam going down. Welcome to the Space Jam.
Irving and Curry, one-on-one. Irving puts it up. It's good! Kyrie Irving from downtown! And the Cavaliers by three. And welcome to the jam. Come on, it's
Yo-ho! Welcome back, everyone, to the Ultimate Warriors podcast. I am, of course, Ben Christopher, and I am not joined, as always. Normally, I would say joined as always. Today, I'm not joined by Mr. Teddy Ballgame. He's Teddy too cool for school. He's out in California having all kinds of fun. So we have some much better, much more thoughtful, much more intelligent, much more handsome, I would say as well, people joining me today. I have Jeremy Lawless and Kevin Sledz from CLE TribeCast. How are you guys doing today?
Doing good. How you doing, man?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm excited to talk some Cavs with you guys. Before we get started, though, you guys have listened to the show. We have a third Ultimate Warrior. There's three of us today. I will say Andy, he's also on vacation, but he's made a rap for you guys before. And I just want to let him know, or let the people know what to expect from today's show. So, Andy, why don't you just take this away for me real quick? Let everyone know what to expect.
DJ Andrew Smith. Just murdered a stick, now eat the beat. Fresh, cheesy boost, zebras all up on my feet. Double freestyle this week, so you might OD. John Cena on the beat, you can't see me. This next dude, man, you're gonna straight love it. Jeremy Lawless, aka Mr. McNugget. Karaoke King, voice so live. Host of the Heat CLE Tribe. More famous than Stranger Things 11. You know I'm talking about my dude named Kevin. When he eats Mexican, he pays in pesos. More stock on Amazon than Jeff Bezos. I'm all stocked up on vitamins and booze, trying to get through another lockdown blues. I'll be tuned into this show in the tribe. DJ Andrew Smith, man, let's go for a ride. DJ Andrew Smith.
I love it.
Nice.
Did you guys remember that one? Because I had to look back and find. I was like, wait, we did one before.
Yeah.
for the draft for the draft, right?
Exactly. Yep. But hey, thank you guys again for coming on. We've got a lot of stuff to talk about here with the Cavs. We'll just go ahead and jump into that. It was an okay week. Would have liked to see it go a little bit better for us. So we've been doing something here recently, just kind of looking back through the week, talking about the good and the bad from each game. So our first game, this was against the Chicago Bulls. So, Jeremy, I know you watched every second. You probably watched it like 3 times, just really analyzing it. Kevin, you probably just watched it live. Same as me. But we ended up winning this one. It was 103 for the Cavs to Bulls 94. So we got the win. That really is the best news. There's a little bit more good news in that one. Darius Garland, he had 22 points, 9 assists. And I love the plus-minus stat. You guys know it. If you listen, you know it. Either team high, plus 14, plus-minus. Larry Legend, a.k.a. Larry Nance Jr., he also had 14 points and 14 boards. So that was pretty cool, too. He's making it look like Andre Drummond is replaceable. I'm sorry, Jeremy, for your fantasy team, but it helped us out. So that's the good news. A lot of good news. We got the win. We had those great players. The bad news. Chetty Osman. I love Chetty. I've been rooting for him. He was 0 for 5 from 3, so you kind of hate to see that. You always like to see him spacing the floor out, and it kind of stinks when he gets absolutely nothing from downtown. So that's my good and the bad from game one. So, Jeremy, I know you watched it probably 4 times because you're such a basketball guy. Did you notice anything from that game, or are we just passing here?
No, I think Darius Garland, when he's up around 9 assists, that is where we need him to be.
Preaching to the choir.
He needs to have more than 4, he needs to have more than 5. But I mean, if he gets you 9 assists a game, that puts the Cavs in a really good spot to win. And I'd really like to see him kind of transition into that player more often than the one-off times. You know what I mean?
100%, man. I've been saying it all season. When Garland is dishing the ball around, it makes our team so much better. Kevin, I know you watched the game. Did you see anything from that Cavs Bulls game?
One thing I noticed, and I love Colin Sexton, so this isn't really not to be a knock on him, but he didn't play that game.
Right.
And the ball movement was so much better, and Garland looked a lot more fluid with his passing in the offense.
Yeah. Yep. No, I agree. And yeah, it was Sexton. I think it was a hamstring. He missed 2 games. He missed 2 games this week. So, it was a bit of a bummer. He's obviously our best scorer, arguably best player, depending how you look at it. So, and he has really cool hair, which is always cool. If you guys are watching on Zoom, I'm trying to get my hair as tall as his, and I'm getting pretty close. So,
where'd the beard go?
It'll come back. I shave like every 3 weeks, and then I just like let it go again.
I'll be impressed with the Sexton hair, but I'd really be impressed with the Jared Allen hair.
Ooh.
Challenge accepted. Give me 4 weeks, and I will have the Jared Allen hair.
By week 3, your wife's gonna make you cut it. By the way.
Yeah.
Oh, got it. Yeah, I would. If I get to week 3, I'm doing something right. So game 2 of this past week, we took on the Lakers. All right, so I'll just get right to it. So we took on the Lakers. The Lakers won 100-86 for the Cavs. The good news, LeBron got a win without him being on the floor, and that's good because I like LeBron James. And he and AD, they need a little bit of help right now. So Dennis Schroeder's picking up a lot of the slack, trying to stay up in that Western Conference bracket. Other than that, though, we sucked this game. Larry Nance, he had a double-double, so that was pretty cool, and especially because it was against his old team. He had 17 points and 10 boards, so we got that double-double. But, it's not really good if you can't beat the Lakers when they don't have Anthony Davis and LeBron James. So not a lot of good news except, go LeBron. I don't know about you guys. I'm still rooting for him. The bad news, we shot 5 for 26 from 3. And
you're not going to get it done.
No, you're not going to win many games in the NBA when you shoot 19.2% from the 3-point line. So, all right. So Jeremy, so our team a little bit. Who do you think was our best 3-point shooter in that game? You know a few guys. You want to throw out a name? Who do you think was our best shooter?
I'm going to go with Dean Wade.
Nope. It was Larry Nance Jr. He was 1 for 2, 50%. And that's not who you want leading your team in 3-point percentage. So Kevin, you're next. Who do you think was our second best 3-point shooter in percentage that game?
Quinn Cook.
It was Jared Allen.
Oh my God.
Was it?
Yes, it was. In percentage, he technically tied Larry Nance Jr. They were both 1 for 2 from 3. But again, those are just not the guys that you want leading your team in 3-point percentage. So that's the bad news from that game. We hit a few of those shots and we're right there. So Kevin, I'll start with you. I don't know if you watched the game, but anything that you took away from that one there versus the Lakers?
It was ugly. I thought even without Sexton, with the Lakers being without LeBron and Anthony Davis, we might have a shot to steal one. I know we hung with them for a little while, but the second half was ugly. I think they score like 13 points in the third quarter or something like that.
Yeah, it was really bad. That's why I said there's not a lot of good news from that one.
No, not at all.
Jeremy, how about you? Did you notice anything from that one?
No. Yeah. It's just, when are we going to – I feel like I like the young players that we have, individually. When are we going to get, a good team?
So I like a lot of the young players we have, too. Here's the problem. You need a superstar. We have a lot of good young players that would be, good role players or good, second, third players. But, Colin Sexton is not going to be LeBron James. And you need somebody that is consistently one or first or second best player on the court. And we just don't have that. So my answer is hopefully we get it in this draft, Jeremy, and then we're good after that. Kevin, maybe you think differently.
Well, my thinking was to bench some of these guys like Chetty who aren't producing and Dylan Windler. And it looks like Bickerstaff's done it because the last couple games, even tonight, he's given minutes to Broderick Thomas and Lamar Stevens and Dean Wade, the guys I'd rather see out there and, see what you got in them.
I'm so glad that you just said Broderick Thomas because that passes us on to game 3, which is the Kings versus the Cavs, where we lost on a buzzer beater, which we'll talk about. The Kings won 100. The Cavs had 98. So the good news, we freaking lost this with 1 second left. So that sucks. But the good news, you said his name. Broderick Thomas, baby. He's back. We talked about him last week. He had a team high +8. So he had, I want to say he had 28 minutes. He had a decent amount of minutes. Broderick Thomas is like the best player on our team right now. So, Jeremy, maybe that's the answer to your question. Play Broderick Thomas more, we win more.
That's right.
And then also Colin Sexton, he had a pretty good game. He had 26 points, and he did his thing. I mean, he's a great scorer. He's not going to, get you 15, 10 assists a game. I think he had 4 that game. But he had his 26 points. So Broderick Thomas, that's the good news. The bad news, Harrison freaking Barnes beat us with a buzzer beater. And he was on the Warriors, so I still hate him because I hate the Warriors. They stole 2 championships from us, the minimum. And it was a full court throw with 1 second. I think it was 1.2 seconds left. And Harrison Barnes catches it, fades it away, makes it, and we lose. So not good news. Not good news. But so I guess, Jeremy, did you watch that one? Did you find anything from that game?
Well, yeah. So I was tuned in just like everyone else was to watch the Kings versus the Cavs.
Who wouldn't be with March Madness going on? I mean, that's the game you're going to watch.
I didn't watch it. I mean, I'm going to be totally honest. I'm not a huge basketball guy. But what the Cavs are doing, I'm not sure is considered basketball sometimes. I mean, your best player was, like you said, was Broderick Thomas with a +8. That's not going to get it done most times. And it's kind of a blessing that they only lost in like a cool fashion. So like people were like, hey, the Cavs are still a basketball team.
It was like, hey, people are watching March Madness where you have all these buzzer beaters and like, crazy things happening. And it's like, hey, why don't we just do it for the Cavs game, except if the Cavs lose? So that was the bad part. So, Kevin, I don't know, anything that you noticed from that one?
I did not watch that one. I do watch most games, but I was at my buddy's house watching UFC 260. And after seeing Stipe Miocic get his ass handed to him, I put it on in the car on the way home. Heard Sexton get the goaltend call on the layup, thought it was over with 1.2 seconds left. I don't know how you let De'Aaron Fox throw a 3/4 court pass.
I don't either. It looked like if you remember when they threw it to like Christian Laettner and he made like the fadeaway, and like LeBron has done it before. I think he did it against the Wizards. The one,
the bank shot.
Threw him a full court pass. So I mean, you see it sometimes, but it was it was all around March Madness. So that's the week in the Cavs. So we went 1-2. Very easily could have gone 2-1. Very easily could have gone 3-0 with the Lakers team without their best 2 players. So not super happy about it. But, hey, Jeremy, you asked how we could get better. We might just need a great draft pick. So we very well may be there. But, hey, this is a good time for me to mention. We are, of course, a part of the Mark One Sports Network. We're the Ultimate Warriors show. We talk about the Cleveland Cavaliers. We talk about the NBA. We've got the Danger Zone with Josh and Rich. They're talking Cleveland Browns. Have you guys experienced a better Browns season than last year?
No.
Yeah, same. So now's a good time to listen. They're talking about the offseason. I'm looking forward to next year. I already put my bet in. We're winning the Super Bowl next year. So take a listen. We've got the Mark One Sports Show. Ethan Tabor talks about everything in the world of sports, news, movies, food, whatever the heck it is that's popular, he's talking about it. And then, of course, we have you guys. So I'm going to let Jeremy or Kev, whoever wants to, just tell everybody what they can get on your show.
Well, so before Kevin does that, I just want to tell everyone that I was on the Danger Zone this week, actually. and I graded the Browns offseason as a B so far.
Okay.
Why would I do that? Why
B
would I
for
do
Ben.
that?
B for Ben.
B for Ben. B for good but not great.
B for bad choice.
B.
Oh, did I say that out loud?
Yeah, you said that out loud, Kevin. Tell them about CLE TribeCast.
We are a Cleveland Indians podcast. We give you all the updated information, news, stats, whatever you want to know about the Indians. We've had some players on. We had, oh my God,
Josh Wolf.
We had Richie Palacios and Tanner Burns.
Hell yeah.
So far. We have a couple big shows this week coming up. We have Todd Paquette from Indians Perspective. If anybody follows him on Twitter, he is like the source for Indians information, especially in minor leagues. So he's going to come on with us for our Indians preview. And then Saturday, we've got a big event coming up, and we're doing a live podcast from this event.
Yes.
And we'll let Jeremy kind of go into that and tell you everybody about the event and how you can attend.
Yeah, so this Saturday at Slim and Jumbo's in Garrettsville, Ohio, we are having an Indians watch party for the second game of the year. Should be Plesac versus maybe Spencer Turnbull. So an easy win for the Indians. Easy win.
Chalk it up.
Chalk it up. We're gonna have Chinese auction stuff. We've got a Bradley Zimmer bat. We've got Victor Martinez signed mini helmets. We've got a bunch of other Indians, Browns, Cavs stuff. We have our sponsor, SNS Sports Factory, coming. They're going to do live auctions and razzes for some stuff. I know that they're bringing a Joe Thomas signed helmet, a bunch of Ohio State stuff. They've got we haven't talked about him because he's the only good player on the team, the Indians. And I keep forgetting it. Jose
Ramirez canvas.
Yeah. You know, he's got big. Jose. My goodness, he's just there, man. Like with all the drama that's going on in spring training, like I forget about Jose Ramirez because he's just. Thank God we have him.
There he is.
There he is. All right, there's his hair. I like it. But yeah, it's going to be a great time. And actually, Great Lakes Brewing Company is actually debuting a new beer called the Rally Drum, which is a premium lager. That's going to be debuting at the watch party. And then there's another beer, Take Me Out to the Ball Game or to the Ball Game, something like that. That's going to be.
Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. Is that?
I don't care if I'll ever get back, man. So those things are all happening. We'll have drink specials. All that fun stuff. It's going to be a great time. We're going to do a live show throughout it. Well, not through the whole thing because that'd be stupid. But
can we do a mustard versus ketchup versus onion race? Because I kind of am the reigning champ. Like I kind of want to go again.
Well, maybe they'll be there.
Good.
They're right here on the wall. You can't see them because I have this thing, but they're here. Mustard's rooting me on.
I won with mustard, so mustard all day, baby.
Give mustard to the fast guy. So that was my goal. But it's kind of like crazy. Like I'm so happy that we're doing this watch party. It's such a people need to like get out and like hang out with each other. And I feel like more people are getting vaccinated and it's a lot safer and all that fun stuff. But to think back to like a year ago where we just kind of got together with Mark One Sports, there was 6 of us.
Yeah.
For opening day, then to be able to do an event this year, I think that's really huge. Obviously, when we were talking about venues and stuff, like we could go downtown to Cleveland, we could go to Kent, we could do a lot of different places. But we have a big following, Mark One Sports in general, CLE TribeCast, Ultimate Warriors. I mean, everyone in Garrettsville. And after the year that small businesses have had, knock it out in Garrettsville first, man. So,
hell yeah.
Good place to start.
I love it, man. I am very excited for it. We've talked about it. I really freaking hope I'll be there. I am trying my absolute best to be there. And if I am, I don't even care if there's a race. I'm just going to pick mustard up and run around the bar if that's what I need to do. So that's going to be really fun. So everybody should go. If you don't go, you're a loser, and we don't like losers. So you should go.
That's right.
But
that's right. Confirm.
Well said.
Confirm. So getting back to basketball, we kind of are coming off a trade deadline. little bit disappointing for the Cavs. I was hoping we could get something for Andre Drummond, but there were a lot of moves. So, Kevin, I'm going to kind of start with you because I know that you follow these a little bit more than I believe my man J-Law does. After the trades, there's some injuries. At this point in the season, like, who do you picture in the finals, when we move to June?
Well, as far as trades go, I'm pretty intrigued with Miami picking up Oladipo. I know that one kind of came in at the last minute.
Yep.
But, I like their team already, then adding him. And now I hear they may add DeMarcus Cousins on the buyout market. So I think they're a team to watch. Buyout-wise, you look at Brooklyn, obviously, picking up LaMarcus Aldridge, add him in with
crazy.
The big three. It is. It's insane.
Yeah.
And now the Lakers are going to add Andre Drummond. So I'm sure it's going to end up being Lakers Nets. I mean, I think that's what everybody wants to see at this point.
There you go.
I'm going to jump in here. Really quick, because I feel like my basketball knowledge was underestimated. I knew that Oladipo went to Miami because he's on my fantasy basketball team.
Yes.
So hopefully he starts playing sometime soon. That'd be great. And then Andre Drummond, who the Cavs held me hostage for the past month, is now going to get some more playing time. So, or any playing time. So
right.
Maybe my fantasy team will actually start scoring some points again with Oladipo in Miami and Drummond out in Los Angeles. But,
So is your pick? So you like Andre Drummond playing? You think the Lakers are going? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I'm picking the Lakers to win the finals, to win the championship because of Andre Drummond.
Yes, the best player on the team.
Not LeBron or Anthony Davis. So because Drummond is there, that's going to put him over the edge.
That makes a lot of sense. He Dwight Howard was the leader of the team last year. This year, it's Andre Drummond. So
that's right. They were lacking in talent out there without Drummond. So
exactly.
Has there ever been a bigger talent hit the buyout market?
I don't think so, man.
I don't either.
I can't believe that LaMarcus Aldridge and Andre Drummond didn't get at least a second-round pick. Like, everybody just knew, like, okay, they're just going to go there. Like,
Yep. And I'm sure Dan Gilbert loves it as well.
yeah, I'm sure he does. Oh, man. Well, so the next thing I wanted to talk about. So we talked about who we think we're going to make the finals, and I think everybody has the Nets Lakers. I mean, as long as LeBron and AD come back healthy, which that is a big maybe because they are injured. And I think they will. LeBron has proven he can come back from injury. He's not injury prone. AD, he is kind of injury prone, but I'm just hoping that he stays healthy. So the Nets, though, they're big three with Kevin Durant, James Harden, Kyrie Irving. They're having a hell of a year, man. It's kind of unbelievable what they're doing right now, just stats wise. I know they're only second in the East, so they're still not first, but they haven't played together that much. So I just kind of wanted to ask you guys, who is your favorite? Who is the best big three that you've seen? Because these guys are doing some things that I just haven't seen before. I guess Jeremy, I'll start with you.
I think LeBron, D Wade, and Chris Bosh. I think that is what's trying to be replicated, duplicated and everything. So I think that set the tone. So I'm gonna go with that one.
Yeah. So I looked up just for like a reference. So I agree with you, Jeremy. I actually think they are too. Like when they came together, LeBron, I think in 2010. Kevin, correct me if I'm wrong. He won the MVP that year before they came together.
Correct.
Right? So he won the MVP. I think D Wade was like third and Chris Bosh was like fifth. Like it was like stupid how good these guys were coming together. But just for like stats sake, I just want to tell you what that team looks like. So I actually went with the 2011-12 team, which was their best team, which won the finals. LeBron had 27 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists. D Wade had 22 points, 5 rebounds, 4.5 assists. Chris Bosh, 18 points, 8 boards, and like 3 assists. So, like, pretty good. But when you look at what these Nets guys are doing, Kevin Durant is averaging almost 30 points a game, 5 assists. James Harden is averaging 26 points, 11 assists, and 9 boards, basically a triple-double. And Kyrie Irving is averaging 28 points, 5 assists, and 6 rebounds. It's like stupid how good these guys are doing offensively. Now, I think the big difference is on the defensive end. We'll all agree on that. Every single person I mentioned, LeBron, D. Wade, Chris Bosh, they were like elite defenders. But when I put that question in, I looked that up, and I was kind of shocked by that.
Yeah, I think the NBA is still practicing social distancing on the defensive side of the ball.
6 foot apart.
So yes, the offensive stats are a little bit better. Obviously, I noticed that you didn't give rebounds for Kevin Durant because I'm not sure he has any. So I get it, but with the social distancing that's going on the court on the defensive side of the ball out there in Brooklyn, I don't think they're a major finals contender, even with how much they can score. If they run into a defensive team, which if the Lakers make it to the finals are a far superior defensive team, I think the Nets are really going to struggle.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's the big thing is like, they are so good on the offensive end, but like, where's the difference, between these teams of the past and what they have? Kevin, I guess I'll ask you, who do you think? I love like the big three kind of started with the Boston Celtics. We all remember when, Kevin Garnett, Ray Allen, and Paul Pierce got together. There have been some other ones before that as well, but what do you think?
Oh, I think I agree with Jeremy. It's the Miami Heat big three with Bosh, Wade, and LeBron. I think the Nets trio have the potential to supersede them, but like you said, defensively, there's not much going on there, and that's the difference. I mean, it wasn't that long ago, but on the current NBA is no defense, just pretty much hoisting up threes and dunking. That's about it.
So I wish that we could say the Cavs big three. I was surprised nobody brought that up because we did have Kyrie, Kevin Love, and LeBron, which at one point, at that point in time, a lot of people thought that they could be the best. And I mean, 2015, we all know what happened. We lost Kevin Love in the first round. We lost Kyrie in the finals. LeBron went with nobody, with Matthew Dellavedova and Timothy Mozgov, and took the Warriors to 6 games. Like, that was our championship. We won the next one, and then they got Kevin Durant, which still, like, the way the salary cap and everything worked, I think the Cavs' big three is underrated for that reason. We got screwed the first year. We actually won the second year, and then they signed Kevin Durant. And, it wasn't even 3 then. It was 4. It was it was Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green. It wasn't even a 3. It's like, hey, we have a big 4. And it was like, how the hell do you even do that with the salary cap? So I do think the Cavs, big three is underrated. I also think Kevin Love gets underrated because he did not produce huge in the finals most of those years when he actually was healthy. But he was not the Warriors were just not a good matchup for him. But every other team we played, if you look at the Eastern Conference Finals, anything leading up, he was awesome. So I wish we could rate them higher, but we just can't.
He spread the floor pretty well.
He did. Yeah.
He kept a clean paint. So
yep. He was Chris Bosh 2.0. Let's get out. Bosh was a better defender, obviously, but anyways.
And like you said there, I think there's no doubt in 2015, not even if we had both, I think if we even had one of those two, we still win.
Agreed. 100% agree. 100%. Yeah. I will always think that, but we got our 2016, so we'll take it.
And this is another story for another day, but how were they able to get Kevin Durant there?
Oh man. So the salary cap, this was it was negotiated between the owners and the players organization that they were going to, instead of gradually increasing the salary cap, it was all going to come in 1 year. And that's why people like Timothy Mozgov got paid Timothy Mozgov got $17 million, something crazy, because all of a sudden, instead of gradually increasing the cap, they're like, hey, boom, every team has all this money. And Steph Curry also signed super team friendly contract like 2 years before because he like broke his ankles 5 times in a row or something. So like they had no Steph Curry money, and then the Players Association agreed to this crazy raise of the cap that all just went in 1 year, and it happened to be that year. And that's it. It will never happen again. But enough about that. So I'm going to ask Kevin this question. I know you watch a lot of Cavs. What do you expect from us the rest of the season?
That's a good question. I'm not 100% sure of the direction right now.
I'm with you on that.
Honestly, I mean, this is a deep draft coming up. There's some superstar potential at the top, so tank away, baby. We need another high pick. I hate to say it because coming into this season, even before we went on our little hot streak, I was under the opinion of no more tanking. But we got to do what we can to at least get the 8th spot, get some playoff experience. Right. But I mean, the way it's all unfolded, I mean, we're better off getting another high pick and getting one of these superstar potential players because that's what we need, and that's the only way we're going to be able to acquire one.
Yep. And anyone who listens to this show, I thought we would be in that play-in tournament because now it's not even 8; it's technically 10.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, we'll definitely be in that. Not looking like it. Jeremy, what do you think? What do you expect from us this season?
I'm going streaking through the quad and into the gymnasium, just like Frank the Tank.
Frank the Tank.
Yeah, I'm on the tank squad here.
Yeah, and I don't blame you. I honestly, at this point, like we had our chance. We started the season off really well. We had this very difficult part of the schedule, and we've talked about it on this show before the season even started. We had this very difficult, like 15 games. And I think we went like 1-14 or 2-13. And it was like, oh shit. Yeah, we're done. So yeah, I hear you on that, but I don't know. Anything else you guys want to add before we kind of peace out here?
The jerseys are growing on me.
See, I agree with you on that. I hated them at first. I was not a fan. I thought the letters were weird. Like I know what they were doing, that rock vibe. But they've been growing on me a little bit too. Still not my favorite. I like the 90s one with the big wave.
Sure.
It's like a lot of people hate it. I love it. I love that one.
Yeah, it's a solid one. I like the black ones now. I didn't at first. I do like them now. And that's about all I can really look forward to with the Cavs at this point. But I'm a casual fan, man. I feel like a lot of people, unless you're following it every day, it's like the Browns a few years ago. Like, what sport are you playing?
Yeah. Yep. And then you would watch you'd watch the Browns play somebody, and then you would watch like Tom Brady and the Patriots playing. You're like, holy shit, is that the same game?
Right. No, I hope they put it all. Like, I hope they put it together. After we secure a high draft pick, because I like the young talent. Like, I like some of them. The Chitty Osmonds of the world, they can go away. But that's all I got on it. I'm sorry.
So the thing that kind of depresses me is we have the role player guys. We do. Mm-hmm. Like we have Garlands, we have Sextons, we have Okoro. Like we have Jared Allen. A lot of these role player guys, but you need like the man. Yeah. And the problem is, if we draft him this year, I just don't know how the timelines are going to mesh. And that's what I'm worried about more than anything.
Well, so maybe you can help me out with this, because I heard a rumor that we're trying to assign Jared Allen for $100 million contract. Like,
yeah,
where does that leave us, like, going forward with a bunch of role players? Jared Allen, is he a $100 million player?
No, but we have to use the salary cap, and like we're gonna be eventually losing Kevin Love, Tristan Thompson. Like we've got these guys on like lower contracts, so like I don't know that I want to sign him for something like that. But like you have to spend it somewhere if that makes any sense. I don't know, Kevin, what do you think on that?
Yeah, and that's why they didn't trade Andre Drummond, because they didn't want to take back bad contracts that were going to hamper him, 2-3 years down the road. with the salary cap. But I do like some of these young kids, and I want to see him play. Like I mentioned, Broderick Thomas, Lamar Stevens. I don't know why he's not getting more minutes because he's just like a spark plug when he comes in. And I want to get a look at this kid, Isaiah Hartenstein, this 22-year-old center we acquired from Denver for JaVale McGee. I know he's got a little potential. So, play the young kids, lose competitively, and get a high pick.
And then I next year, Broderick Thomas, he's MVP, right? I think we can all agree.
Oh, yeah.
MVP.
I'm in. I got it. I'm in.
All right. Well, hey guys, thank you again so much for joining. There's one thing that we like to do on this show when we kind of peace out. We always want to remind everybody one thing. Jeremy, do you know what it is?
Oh, I got it, man. I got you. Never forget the Warriors blew a 3-1 lead.
Yes, they did.
Seconds. It's over. Cleveland is a city of champions once again.